Now, what Ann did to Desna is what us smart mouth children back in the day like to call, she got the taste slapped out of her mouth. Hey everyone, it's Sharna from Pay or Wait, and today I know I'm behind on my clause reviews, and someone came in my comment section on another video and was like, what happened to your reviews? And I said, you know what? I am going to do right by you guys, and so I'm going to catch up before tonight's episode. So just make sure, as always, that you follow me at Pay or Wait, and make sure that you can live tweet with me, because I actually respond back to people. I actually have a lot to say during the episodes when they're on TV. So I'm going to go ahead and get into Claws Season 2, Episode 4, Scream. I can't really scream right now. But so this episode was basically centered around Quiet Ann, and it was a very, very good episode. So the episode kind of starts off with Quiet Ann. She's still going through her breakup with Arlene. She had to basically frame Arlene to help free Desna, as Arlene was getting closer to closing in on what Desna actually does. And so we see that she is basically going through depression right now. And so in the beginning of the episode, we see her, all these people asking her for stuff. I need you to do this. I need you to do that. People are always take from her, but nobody is really trying to see her and see that she's hurting, and she's really crying out for help and support from her friends. And so we see that her brother comes to visit her. Her brother fine, y'all. He was fine. He came to the nail shop. He was like, hey, sis. Everybody was like, girl, you didn't tell me your brother was fine. You're not going to introduce us to him? What is going on? So he basically comes and asks Ann, like, hey, can you please come to dinner? And as we saw in a previous episode, that Ann doesn't have the greatest relationship with her parents, because she felt as though when she came out, her parents basically shunned her. She had got pregnant when she was younger, and they forced her to give the baby away. Only she came home one day and the baby was just gone. So they really traumatized her, and she really has a strained relationship with her family. But her brother begs her to come to dinner. It's been 4 years since you've seen us. Please, can you just come and just catch up with everybody? And so Ann decides, okay, sure, I'll come. I don't want to, but I will definitely be there to support you. And so we see that also during her brother coming, we also have another visitor come to the salon, and that is Dr. Greg's mother. And so remember when Desna actually offered them and the two refugee girls that they are supporting right now, that they brought in for the spa day that Desna promised them. And then his mom started asking all these questions, like, tell me about your past boyfriends. What did they do? Why did y'all break up? And then Desna just like, why are you asking me all these questions? Why are you in my business? And she was like, look, if my son is going to marry anyone, I need to know that she is worthy of my child. And I said, you know what? You better let her know that they better be worthy to get Dr. Greg's hands in marriage, okay? And so then it kind of shocks Desna, because she's never really thought about marriage or the possibility that she can actually be married to someone who isn't a part of this drug dealing life. But little does she know that's basically what she would be getting herself into, but she don't know that yet. So she still thinks that she got a catch. And so she's super excited. They Zalta ends up throwing a party for them to celebrate. I don't know what they celebrate. They celebrating the fact that the mother kind of gave the blessing, or that Greg is kind of thinking of you as marriage material. I don't know what the celebration for the party was, but we see that in her mind, Anna's kind of just like, so basically Desna gets this fairy tale life and everything's going great for her, but basically I had to sacrifice my happiness to make sure that Desna can be where she was today. So she's still having issues. And so we see that we finally get to meet her family, her mother and father, and basically it was an interesting dinner, y'all. This dinner was so interesting. So first, clearly there's not the greatest relationship between the two of them. The brother announces that he's actually going to be running for governor, and they're so excited. And so, they basically have a talk about immigration, and her parents are basically against immigrants being able to come into the country. And she was just like, but we immigrants, so how are you doing all that? And she was like, no, we were exiled, so there's a difference. And so she decides she needs a break. She goes to the bathroom. She kind of breaks down. She starts smoking to get high, to kind of help her through everything that's going on. And then she replays a message basically from DFACS telling them that the baby that her and Arlene wanted to adopt, it was Arlene telling her that it was going to be any day now. And so We see that later towards the episode, both of them end up getting calls that the child was ready, that they would have placed a child with them had they still been together. But when she returns back to the table, everything just blow up, okay? It blow up. So she talk about, I'm a dyke, you know I'm a dyke, y'all disown me after you found out that I was into women and that I ended my marriage, and then my brother's gay, and y'all just act like y'all don't know that he gay. And then her dad basically tell her like, look, we disowned you not because you were gay. We disowned you because your crazy behind was trying to kill somebody and you went to jail. You speak all these languages. You got all this going for yourself, but you're working security at a nail salon. That is not the life that we imagined for you, and you're better than that. And so then they're just like, we know that your brother is gay, so stop it. And everybody looking like, huh? You know he gay? And her mom was like, yes, I'm gay. Your father is gay. Duh. And then her and her brother looking like, what you mean you gay too? Like, how both of y'all gay? And so basically we find out that both of their parents were each other's beards. For years, they found out that their aunt is not really their aunt, but their mother's lover or partner over the years. Who knows? Everyone's mind is blown. My mind was blown. I was just like, huh, does it happen in real life? Like, does that happen to people? Like, where your mom and your dad were gay and then your brother and your sister was gay? It's just a lot going on right now. So her and her brother, you know, they're just having a good time afterwards, after their minds are being blown. And then he basically tells her like, hey, you know, I can't live the life that you live, but I'm proud of you. You're strong, you're brave, you get to do what you want to do. But I cannot be openly gay and still achieve what I'm trying to do politically because I want to be in the Oval. And she's like, yeah, you can't be Cuban and openly gay being the president of the United States. And so we see that during the course of their conversation, she gets a call from Jen. Jen is drunk as a skunk. She's with security. She then got detained by security in the store because she took the little cheap wine boxes, the wine boxes that everybody used to drink when they were in college. Like, that's how I knew about the wine boxes in the grocery store. So she got caught chugging the wine boxes in the store. Then all of a sudden, she conveniently misplaced her wallet, okay? And so basically Quiet Ann saves her and gets her out of it just in time for Jen to basically throw up on her feet. And it was so nasty because I could just feel it touching my toes, like, oh, this is so trifling. So then we go into an even more outrageous scene where they decide to take Jen to her AA meeting so she can try to get clean. And then it goes into this weird song between Jen and Bryce. But low-key, that song was hidden though. The song was definitely hidden between them, talking about you're a drunk and I'm a crackhead, but we belong together. It was really weird. And even Quiet Ann in the episode had to be like, was this real or was this not real? And I was just trying to figure out as well. But I think it was kind of real. And then they walk out of the outside of the AA meeting because Bryce walks out. Everyone follows them. And Bryce is just like, look, I'm having papers drawn up. I just want a divorce at this point. So we see that they go back to the nail salon and Desmond is trying to figure out what to do because during the course of him asking for a divorce, he tells them that they're planning something against Zalta at this golf tournament that's going on. And then Desmond's trying to figure out, do I tell Zalta because Zalta's the one who's actually been taking care of me, or do I tell or do I not tell her so they can, Uncle Daddy and them can do whatever they trying to do? And so she asks Ann, and then Ann was like, well, you got a lot of nerve talking about loyalty because you sitting up here living this life and you can't tell that I am breaking down. And so they get into it. Desmond called her selfish. What you talking about? And did everything for you. And then that's when Ann slapped the taste out of her mouth. And I thought Desmond was about to backhand her, but they broke them up. And they get into this argument because Polly is talking, trying to talk to Quiet Ann and calm her down. And Anna's just like, look, you make up all these different characters to be someone that you're not. And then she tells her, you're doing the exact same thing. And then she basically ends up coming out and telling them that she is depressed. She gave up the love of her life. They were about to have a baby. They were going to adopt a baby. They had got the call literally the day before to do the adoption. And then basically no one knew about it. They were just like, why didn't you tell us? And basically, kumbaya, cry, tears, kumbaya, we make up. And yeah, and so we see that they tell her like, hey, go fight for Arlene, fight for her. And basically she goes to Arlene's house, try to get her back. No one answers the door. She's sitting outside. She leaves a voicemail telling her, hey, I drugged you so you can get caught up and lose your job, all this, and I'm sorry, but I want to be with you. And I'm like, girl, why are you leaving this on a voicemail so they can come back and use that against you? That ain't smart, and that ain't smart. And so we see that Arlene ends up calling her back, and she's like, hey, I got the call too, meet me at my place. And then when she gets off the phone, we see that she's with her partner. And so I'm like, so did she really lose her job? And then they get the doctor, they get Polly's man, the doctor, and basically they arrest him. And then that's how the episode ends. So this was pretty interesting. It was also really sad to see Marty and Polly's relationship kind of deteriorate because I guess Polly has an issue with her daughter Marty talking to this black dude who's Muslim, who's trying to like convert her daughter to Muslim, and she just doesn't know how to react to that. And then also too, she's struggling with the twin sister that we found out that she had, but no one knows what happened to her. And she mistakenly called Marty Lily instead of her name. So I'm interested to see what happens with that, because it is sad. She just saved this girl, and this girl is already going through her little teenager years where they hate mom. But overall, this is a very good episode. They had a lot of moments where I was just like, dang, like normally it's supposed to be funny, but it's like not funny because it's serious right now. But thank you, Dean. Dean gave me my life when he was twerking on the wall during their little party. And then even when Virginia was like, it's my job to take care of Dean, but not work. And I was like, Virginia, girl, get it together. And then when they got into the fight because she was trying to teach Dean how to twerk better, I was just like, if only these were the things that people could fight about in relationships. But those are my thoughts on Claws Season 2, Episode 4, Scream. As always, my name is Shauna from Pay Your Weight, and if you like what you saw today, make sure you hit the like button, hit subscribe, share this video with your friends, and I will see you soon.